Hi everyone, it's Sir Fadrik and welcome to the first episode of this new adventure. I'll be creating fantasy races. I want to practice some game design and it looks something fun to do, so let's give it a shot. And if you're an artist and you want to grow your YouTube channel, I really need your help. Please wait for the end of the video for a small announcement. Episode 1, let me introduce you to the DragonLanders, an amazing, nimble and fast races with the dragon on their side that controls the island continent. And to understand the DragonLanders, we have to understand their environment. They live in a continent formed by flying islands, flying above a rocky lands, and some islands are really massive and some are really small. And for the flora of the islands, they are blooming with big and massive trees with strong wood that grows up and down the islands, forming an amazing spectacle. And also, we can find a lot of mushrooms on the islands, yellow and red, big and small. But what about the fauna now? The biggest thing in this island is the dragons. They are a really big part of it, and it's a really big part of the history of the DragonLanders in general. Also, the massive ones are extinct, the smaller versions are still flying around, and because of the massive trees, most of them are vegetarians and feed on them. Vegetarian dragons, that's really nice. And that makes them really quite agile and too quick to maneuver with so light trees to allow them to feed on the thick roots of the trees. The next on the fauna hierarchy are the mammals, like animals that feed on the mushrooms with broad heads and that come from dragons. So they have like really small wings and thick scales, and they can be milked for food and use those scales as resources. But now, the predators of this world are fast drag/worm-like creatures. They are dark skins that lives in the ground and has really sharp teeth like drillers and a really pointed head that can allow them to travel through the islands and jumping between them. They don't have like massive wings and their tail is doubled so they can maneuver while in the air. And now by understanding the environment will allow us to see the resources that the DragonLanders have access to, and we can simply see that the wood is found everywhere, around the islands, above and down, and it's a massive kind of wood that can be used for structures, bridges and weapons building. Although the islands are a bit scarce for good metals, the scales from the animals and the dragons make for good material for building armor and small metal equipment. But digging down in the islands, you can find a bit of resources here and there, which make anything built from not wood fairly expensive but not rare. And now, let's talk about the anatomy of the DragonLanders. Their body shape, as they live on the island's continent, they grew up flying and traveling between them, which evolved them to be really thin, with big hands to control the dragons and use their personal gliders. So their body shape you can see like a V with broad shoulders. But what about their unique features? Their narrow head gives them a unique shape, and combined with their thin body gives them an unbelievable ability to be nimble, quick, and allowing them to work faster and fight more efficiently. What about their culture? Starting with their society, they live on multiple islands. They form some kind of tribal family society, as each family owns an island, and they can all share stuff in their centralized island, where they have the markets, the kingdom hall, where the heads of all the families or all the islands gather there to discuss laws and organize everything. The art of their society is fairly simple. They enjoy a good painting, and living on the island with a lot of colors, they want to create colorful, peaceful art. And being heavily inspired by dragons, their architecture is breathtaking, with all the columns, structures that took inspiration from dragons' fluid and nimble bodies. And taking the same inspiration from the predatory dragon, they dug in the islands and have places to live inside and move around the same island in its controlled body. One massive architecture marvel is the main island that have crazy dragon tail structure wrapping its whole body under its massive whole dome-like building. Their homes on the other hand are shaped like small domes to give them a lovely view to the stars and allow their pet dragons to fly freely inside the house, and some of them love to just live on the side of the island that have an amazing view on the rocky lands. Their engineering now, because they're living on a land that is separated with air, push them to create engineering wonders to make traveling easily and so they created bridges from island to island and found ways to push and grab more islands and merge them together to have more lands to build and farm. And for personal use, they invented a personal wearable glider that allows the people to quickly jump between islands, and it's really fun to use. But what about moving supplies? As big bridges are fairly slow and dragons are too small to carry stuff, a slingshot system was built using a great tree's bark to sling supplies from island to island in a quick fashion, which is still to this day the most thing they are really proud about, but it's still experimental, so a lot of errors may have occurred. Their food now mostly consists of plant-based, harvesting the massive trees for its amazing bark, and they always make a mean mushroom soup to go along with it. Also, they get eggs and milk from the mammals and use their dragons sometimes to hunt small flying animals to just add to the banquet. But now, it's time to go to war. So what's about their war and survivabilities? DragonLanders' army are diverse, fast and nimble. The main bulk of their army composed of simple soldiers with spears and scale shields, with also some bowmen with scale-headed arrows. But the main DragonLanders elite units are the Dragon Knights. Soldiers on the back of their skinny fast dragons allow them to land on their enemies from the sky, hit and fly back in seconds. Armed with long spears, they are deadly and quite good for reinforcement and ambushes. And they also form the main cavalry unit, as all other creatures are slow to be used in a war. For their main strategies, they use when defending is not allow the enemies to reach the islands by heavily ambushing them from the top and do cycle charges with the dragons, and as legend says, no enemy was able to reach the capitals in centuries. But while attacking and use their bonus speed to hit enemies, they use the dragon to hit and run and retreat as much as they can, forcing the enemy to paralyze, to either get pushed into the spear wall like a hammer and anvil strategy or run from the field. And when sieging, besides using the siege or the basic siege equipment, nothing can stand a sweep of Dragon Knights throwing all archers from the wall and getting the city from above. Then let's talk about their perk. What is their unfair advantage? Their speed in life and in war push fear into their enemies, and the dragon battle cry makes the battlefield shakes. Their islands are heavily fortified and hard to conquer, and provide a natural cover and a lot of quick way to harvest resources. But on the other hand, the disadvantages, they don't have much space to expand and build, and also the scarcity of metal puts them in a weak spot when expanding and building more advanced weapons, which keeps them a bit inferior in technology to all other races. And by that, we finished our first race, that DragonLanders. I can't lie, I really enjoyed this episode and creating this race. Looking forward for this adventure, and let's aim for one race a month, we'll see. But now, if you're an artist and would love to give me a hand in drawing the races and post them on your YouTube channel, please let me know. We'll have so much fun collabing on this adventure, as like, I'm not really good an artist, but I would love to do some game design. Until then, until the next episode, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to check my Patreon to support the channel, play my games on itch.io page, and in the end, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you all in the next adventure.